Shalom, shalom, kulam. Shalom. Welcome. This is Uziah Ben Yehuda of BI-AASH Studies. Welcome to the B'nai Israel BI-AASH family and nation and community. Okay, so one thing I want to get into today, there was a news report concerning a 17-year-old student in Canton, Ohio, McKinley High School. And what happened was he was forced to eat pork by his coaches because he missed a football practice. And so the student let them know his dietary plans, beliefs, and his religious belief that he couldn't eat pork because he identifies himself as a Hebrew Israelite or Hebrew Israeli. And so us, on behalf of B'nai Israel, BI-AASH, we want to report the story because I'm gonna play some clips and I'm gonna go over like our foundation, our basics, the basics or whatever. But anyway, we're just trying to let it be known that we're trying to be on the lookout for anti-BI-AASH, anti-Shemitic hate and discrimination, regardless who it comes from. Even if it comes from our own people, if they have a hate toward B'nai Israel, BI-AASH, Shemitic people, then they're anti-BI-AASH, anti-Shemitic. That's hate and discrimination. That's persecution toward us, regardless of your religion, regardless of your lifestyle, regardless of your nation, your government, your movement. If it's coming against us, then it's anti-Shemitic, it's anti-BI-AASH. Even if you're Black, if you're African, if you're white, if you're Jewish, if you're Asian, if you come against us in our nation and you persecute us and you hate us because of who we are, the color of our skin, that we're melanated, who we worship, our marriage lifestyles, our cultural lifestyles, and that's anti-BI-AASH, anti-Shemitic. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to play a clip of what happened. Here we go.
Tonight, 8 high school football coaches at Canton McKinley could learn if they still have a job or not. 3 News first reported that the family of a football player was preparing to sue after coaches forced the player to eat pork, which is against his religious beliefs. The coaches were placed on administrative leave, and now the school board is going to be holding a special meeting. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski joins us now from the high school's downtown campus. Rachel, this is a story that has a lot of people talking.
Hey, Betsy, it sure does, and we broke this story last week. Since then, things have just been developing. The school district came out and gave us a statement. 3 News also talked with the boy's father. Now, we'll have to wait and see what happens during this meeting, but as we've reported, the head coach, that's Marcus Watley, and 7 of his assistants were placed on leave after this incident. Now, the family of the student who was involved, according to the boy's father, says the 17-year-old was forced to eat pepperoni pizza after showing up late for practice on May 24th, despite the fact that the staff knew he could not eat pork due to the dietary rules of his Hebrew Israeli faith. Now, the Canton City Schools superintendent tells me the district's investigation into the incident found that the coaches engaged in, quote, inappropriate, demeaning, and divisive behavior in a misguided attempt to instill discipline in these student athletes, end quote. So what happens now? Well, this school board meeting is set to begin at 5:30. We've been here for the last half hour or so. Not a lot going on here, not that many people coming in or out. Of course, we'll be inside there and we'll keep you posted as we learn more details. You can follow along on the WKYC app on our website, and we'll have an update at 6 o'clock on what matters most. Betsy?
All right, a lot of folks following this one. Thank you so much, Rachel, for reporting live for us.
All right, here's the next clip.
We begin in Canton with new information about the incident that led to 8 McKinley High School football coaches being suspended. Tonight, there are new allegations from a father of a McKinley football player stating the reason those coaches are on leave is because they forced his son to go against his religion and eat pork as punishment at a team practice. Our Will Ewick now has the details this evening.
We're just distraught by the whole situation. We don't understand how this could have happened. We want to get to the bottom of it as well. And if we have to go through a lawsuit to do it, well, then it's on.
Local attorney Ed Gilbert didn't mince words today, speaking about an alleged incident involving a 17-year-old Canton McKinley student. The father says his son missed practice due to an injury, then was forced to eat a pepperoni pizza as punishment. However, the family hasn't eaten pork in nearly 10 years as part of the dietary rules of the Hebrew-Israeli religious faith.
Makes you question, are they, doing their job, or are they capable of doing their job, or is it, obviously I feel like the culture is broke.
Gilbert and Walker say the child has indicated to coaches in the past that he doesn't eat pork and said so at least 10 times during the incident. They say while head coach Marcus Watley and the other assistants did eventually let him pick off the pepperoni and some of the cheese, he was still made to eat the pizza and is seeking counseling after the ordeal.
His mom is taking him to therapy, and hopefully he will be able to work out his depression as a result of this.
The Canton McKinley School District and Board haven't responded for comment on this allegation, but we have learned that 8 coaches have been placed on administrative leave. While the school won't confirm that this is the reason why, they did say they received a report of an incident during the football team's strength and conditioning practice from May 24th, and that it's under investigation.
We have asked them to talk with the coach. We've asked them to give an audience with us. They have not done so.
The boy's father says he did have a meeting with the superintendent right after the incident, but the school hasn't responded since. So if they won't meet to discuss what happened, he and Gilbert are ready to file.
We would like to work this out, but they have chosen not to work it out, and they have chosen not to speak to us, so we have no choice but to move forward in a court of law, and that'll be very soon.
The district and a board member did tell 3 News that once they complete their internal investigation, they will reveal more details about what happened. But Laura, it was very obvious in speaking with the father and the attorney today that their patience is running thin.
All right, well, Uwick, thank you so much.
All right. So those were the 2 clips concerning a 17-year-old student football player in Canton, Ohio, McKinley High School, how he was discriminated, and basically as a punishment, he was forced to eat pork, which is against our dietary law. So I just want to go over some things real quick. Let me share my screen. 1 second. All right, here we go. All right. So this is from B'nai Israel. BY is by, that stands for B'nai Israel. And then Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew, which is ASH. This is also in conjunction with B'nai Israel ASH studies. So you see the B'nai Israel national logo. And then you see the B'nai Israel ASH studies logo by ASH. So what we want to talk about is Stop BY-AASH Anti-Shemitic Hate by Uziyahu Ben Yehuda. That's me. All right. Stop Afro-Asiatic Hate. First, we're going to just deal with Afro-Asiatic hate. Now, Afro-Asiatic has 6 phylums. You have Chadic, you have Ometic, you have Berber, you have Cushitic, Shemitic, and Egyptian. But I want to focus on Cushitic, Shemitic, and Egyptian. So first, we got to stop Afro-Asiatic hate, which includes the Cushitic, Shemitic, and Egyptian. Under the Cushitic, we have the Oromo, we have the Somali. Under the Shemitic, we have Central and Southern Semitic. Central Shemitic is on this side. Southern Shemitic is on this side. We need to stop the Afro-Asiatic Shemitic hate against Afro-Arabs, Afro-Palestinians, Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews, which is us. The Tigray, we got to stop Afro-Asiatic Shemitic hate, which against the Tigray, against the Amharic, and against the Tigrayan Eritrean people. Of course, there's more, but I just want to focus on this. And then also you have the Egyptian, the Kemetic Egyptian, Mitzrayim, the Beja Sudan. Now, a lot of the times the Egyptians don't consider themselves as Afro-Asiatic, so it will mostly be the Cushitic and the Shemitic here, but they are part of the list, so I include them as well. Now, if any of us hate on ourselves or hate on each other, like a lot of times Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews, because of our melanation, because of our skin color, because of our belief, who we worship, our marriage style, language, culture, dress, clothing, a lot of times we get persecuted and hated upon by even people who may also have the background of us as well. But you can have two people from the same nation and someone can be hating. It can be self-hate, So just to let that be known, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, if you're Jewish, if you're Arab, if you are Muslim, if you are Jewish, if you are Christian, if you are Kemetic, if you are Moorish, whoever you are, if you continue to hate and persecute us and not have us to have the sovereignty to be who we are, then that's anti-BY-AASH. That's anti-Shemitic hate and discrimination. In that case, as you see in the video, the coach was so-called Black African-American, but we are from that stock as well. But we understand and we're returning back to our culture. We're returning back to our cultural spiritual lifestyle, our CSL, cultural spiritual lifestyle of the Zedekiah standards, Zedekiah's righteousness, and we follow the Torah. We follow certain things. And so we're being persecuted concerning when we pray, how we pray, who we pray to, our identity, our food, our language, our how we marry, etc. So we got to stop Afro-Asiatic hate, right? Now, to key in more, we got to stop BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic hate. So now we're just going to really focus in on the Shemitic, right? Some people say Semitic, but it's more Shemitic. But some people interchangeably, they might use Semitic or they might use Shemitic. All right. So we got to stop BY-AASH, which is B'nai Israel, Afro-Asiatic Semitic Hebrews, BY-AASH, and anti-Shemitic hate. So B'nai Israel means the children of Israel. BY-AASH, again, that's B'nai Israel, Afro-Asiatic Semitic hate. So instead of me saying B'nai Israel, Afro-Asiatic Semitic hate, you're just going to hear me say either B'nai Israel, which means children of Israel, or you might hear me say BY-AASH, or sometimes you just might hear me say B'nai Israel, BY-AASH, just to include everything. Now, you have Central Shemitic, you have Southern Shemitic. Again, Central Shemitic, we are Central Shemitic. So we're Afro-Asiatic Semitic Hebrews, Central Shemitic, right? You have Afro-Asiatic Semitic Hebrews, Afro-Palestinians, Afro-Arabs. And then you have Southern Semitic. You have, Nipsey, you have Tiffany Haddish, you have the Tigrinya Eritreans, you have Amharic Ethiopians, you have the Tigray. So we have to stop BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic hate. Even if you are an Israelite yourself and you're actually hating on your people, you're actually hating on Shemitic people, then that's BY-AASH, that's anti-BY-AASH, anti-B'nai Israel, anti-Shemitic hate. All right. This is just so you can see where B'nai Israel come from. The children of Israel starts from Abraham. Abraham had Keturah. These are his sons. The Midianites come right there, right? That was after Sarah died. Abraham had Sarah, which had Isaac. He had Isaac and Ishmael, because he also had Hagar. So you had Abraham, he had Sarah, who had Isaac. Abraham had Hagar, who had Ishmael. Ishmael had 12 sons. So we come from Abraham to Sarah, Isaac, and Rebekah. They had Yaakov, Jacob, Israel, and Esau, the Edomites. So the Israelites and the Edomites are brothers, all right? Jacob had 4 wives, Zilpah, Leah, Raquel, Bilhah. right? And these four mothers, these four wives had the 12 children of Israel: Gad, Asher, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Yosef, Benjamin, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali. We also had our sister Dinah. So you have the 12 tribes of Israel, and then you also had our sister Dinah. We cannot forget the mothers, the sisters, the women of our nation. You have Dinah. And then you have that, Judah, Tamar, Perez, Zerah, Joseph, Asenath, Ephraim, and Manasseh, right? So that's just to show you, to give you an understanding of who we come from, who our patriarch is, who our ancient ancestors are. So we got the 12 children of Israel. All right. Of course, we also come from Adam. You know, we just jumped to Noah. You had Adam and all those people. You have Noah. Adam is before the flood. Noah is after the flood. So you have Noah's three descendants: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. All right. Noah had Ham. Ham had Cush, which is the Ethiopians, the Hamitic Ethiopians, Mitzrayim, Egypt, Kemet, Put, some say Libya, Libyans, Somalis, and Canaan is Canaanites. We, B'nai Israel comes from Shem. Okay. All right. We come from Shem, Elam, Ashur, Apakshad, Lud, Aram. And then from here you have Eber, Hebrew, Abraham, Yitzchak, Isaac, Yitzchak, Jacob, Yaakov, whose name was changed to Israel, Yisrael, the 12 tribes of Israel. You have Japheth, Gomer. Ashkenaz is a part of Gomer. So you do also have the Ashkenazi Jews from Gomer, from Japheth. You have Magog, Madai, Yawan, which is you have the Greeks, Kittim, the Romans, so the Greeks and Roman, Greco-Romans, Tubal, Meshach, Teras. To bring you more in a better view, you have Shem, you have Eber, means Hebrew, Ibrit, right? You got Abraham, patriarch of the Israelites. You got Ishmael, uncle of Israel, right? Uncle of Israel. He had 12 sons. Isaac, the father of Israel. Esau, the Edomites, is the brother of Israel. Jacob, Israel, name change from Jacob to Israel, Yaakov. Again, you had Japheth, Gomer, Ashkenazi Jews. The European Jews come from Japheth. Yawan, Greeks, Kittim, Romans, and you have that. That's just showing you what's in the scripture. In Genesis chapter 10, Genesis 11. So you can see that in the scriptures, right? That's where we get that from. All right. Now, I just want to give a breakdown. Of what our foundation is. So this is the B'nai Israel, our studies, our foundation, our covenant, so people can get to know a little bit about B'nai Israel, Ash, right? By Ash, or B'nai Israel. So one, we believe that Yahweh Elohim is creator of all the heavens and the earth, Genesis 1:1. We believe that Yahweh is Echad, which is one unity, and there is no one besides him. We love Yahweh with all our heart, mind, soul, strength, and all our being. You can see the scriptures on the side. We love, say, honor, respect, and fear the name of Yah, and call on no other Elohim God for worship, salvation, and respect. You're supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Believe that Yahweh is the creator of man and woman. We follow and accept the seventh-day Shabbat because Yahweh sees finished creation, and he gave it to B'nai Israel and believes as a covenant and as a sign. That's what we believe. We follow and accept the 7 feast appointed times of Yahweh and the 2 memorial days, which is B'nai Israel's cultural, national, Kodesh days, also the sightings of the new moon each month. Those are the scriptures. We follow and accept the 10 commandments as foundation to the covenant with Yahweh, to accept the 613 laws as a whole body of Torah, and understand the 613 laws is consolidated to the 10 commandments, merged to 2, and then 1 great command. Those are the scriptures for that. We follow and accept the Leviticus 11. Here we go. We follow and accept the Leviticus 11 dietary laws, which consists of vegan and eating kosher, clean meats, right? 11. We following and accepting the Numbers 1537 to 39, clothing, garment, to not mix fabrics, 100% natural, unmixed fabrics, and putting the blue cord, fringes, and tassels on your modest apparel, not to show your nakedness or being haughty, showing imprints, anything like that. No nakedness, nothing like that. All right. We follow and accept Yahweh approved Zedekiah relationships, which is monogamy and polygyny. These are the only two forms of approved, you could say kosher or Zedekiah or Kodesh marriage forms. Monogamy is a man and a woman, a man and a wife, husband and wife, man and a woman. And then polygyny is a man having more than one wife, as long as everybody is all in the covenant and following Yah. No paganism, no homosexuality, no lesbianism, nothing like that. Heterosexual, Zedekiah, kosher-based marriages, monogamy and polygyny. All right. And those are the scriptures for that. We denounce paganism. We do no idol worship, no mediums, no witchcraft, etc. The conclusion of the matter is we're supposed to fear Yah and follow his commandments. We're supposed to know and accept that obedience is better than sacrifice. And Yahweh delights in obedience than burnt offerings and sacrifices. We acknowledge and accept Yahweh's chosen nation and spokesman concerning Zedekiah righteousness and Torah, law, instructions, is the nation Bnei Israel, children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Also to acknowledge that Bnei Israel is Shemitic, melanated, and indigenous to Northeast Africa, the land of Israel. We are Ash, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic Hebrews. Those are the scriptures for that. We accept and know that Bnei Israel is a messianic nation, and we also accept the Messiah and the King of Bnei Israel prophesied in the Torah Tanakh, right? We confess, repent, and ask for forgiveness for all the sins of our ancestors, our nation, Bnei Israel, parents, our own self, and children. To repent and strive to sin no more, establish a relationship with Yahweh, and to enter into the renewed covenant with Yahweh and Zedekiah, right? We understand that the natural branch is Bnei Israel, children of Israel, and the wild olive branch is the Gentile, believers, strangers. They are both on the same tree, but the wild olive branch can't boast against the natural branch. And the natural branch is to treat the wild olive branch, the Gentiles, like the natural branches. It's one law for Bnei Israel, children of Israel, and the Gentile strangers, right? There's scripture for that. Salvation is accessible and offered to everyone who desires and wants it. Also, salvation is of the Yehudim, Yehuda, Bnei Israel, children of Israel, and we know what we worship, which is Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Yahweh is the creator of the heavens and the earth. Also, immersion, baptism is symbolic of the death, burial, and resurrection of the Messiah, believing in the resurrection and power of Yahweh to raise us from the dead, the striving to flee from sin and walk in Zedekiah righteousness. Romans chapter 6, 3-23. The prayer, praise, and hours of prayer, and our direction of prayer to the holy city of Jerusalem, Jerusalem, and to the holy temple tabernacle where Yahweh placed his name. Now, there's much more. I just want to give 22. Like we have 22 letters in our Hebrew Aleph Beit. I just brung down the 22 covenant and foundation of Bnei Israel Ash. All right. Now, here's something real quick, too. Like I said, you have many different things, but for us, this is what we deal with. When does the day begin? From sunset to sunset, right? Darkness. So example, Friday sunset to Saturday sunset is the seventh day, the Shabbat. So right now, once the sun set, then we'll be ending the Shabbat. So the Shabbat for us started Friday night, sunset to Saturday sunset. When does the week begin? The first day of the week. The first day of the week is what we call Sunday. Yom Rishon, first day. So Saturday sunset to Sunday sunset starts the first day of the week. When does the week end? The seventh day. The seventh day of the week is what we call Saturday. Yom HaShabbat, the seventh day, which is now. Friday sunset to Saturday sunset starts the seventh day, Shabbat of the week. When does the month, moon, begin? The month is connected to the moon. For us, the moon is a light, and so the new moon is a new moon or a new light. We observe the new month when we spot the crescent moon. We have 29 or 30-day months, depending on each month. We also check the sightings of the new moon in Jerusalem. When does the new year begin? The new year is called Abib, which means spring or young ear of green ears. Some may call it the month of Nisan. It is the sighting of the crescent moon around March or April with the mature barley at the time of the Abib. In the culture, unleavened bread of barley was offered and made. Sometimes we have a 13th month, depending if the barley is not mature at the time of Abib. So then we declare a 13th month year. We also check the sighting of the new moon in Jerusalem and the mature barley. All right, now this is where the 17-year-old, he had a situation in Canton, and he let it be known his dietary law, right? So us as a nation, we are B'nai Israel, and we're BY-AASH for short. B'nai Israel, ASH, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew. Now, you have our people. Our goal at B'nai Israel ASH Studies and B'nai Israel is to inform our people who know and don't know, so that we can call ourselves and declare ourselves collectively as B'nai Israel, right? As official, and then BY-AASH, the ASH as the emphasis is Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew. So then when these things happen to us, we can say, yo, this is anti-Shemitic, this is anti-B'nai Israel, this is anti-BY-AASH, this is anti-Shemitic. BY-AASH, of course, is B'nai Israel with the emphasis of ASH, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew. So you might just see, you know how you have people, they might have AAPI, you know, for the Asian representing them as a collective. When you see us as B'nai Israel as a collective, you'll see capital B, capital Y, dash, capital AASH, BY-AASH. So anytime you hear BY-AASH, you just know that means B'nai Israel, Afro-Asiatic, Shemitic, Hebrew. So we won't be saying that all the time. We'll just say either B'nai Israel, we'll say BY-AASH, or sometimes we might say B'nai Israel, BY-AASH. Boom. Okay. Now, some people even just say ASH. Some people say Afro-Asiatic, Hebrew Israelite, but I'm just saying officially we're B'nai Israel and BY-AASH. Okay, now this is the BY-AASH studies, Leviticus 11 dietary laws, right? When it comes down to land animals, you have divided or split hooves that chew the cud. This is Leviticus 11, 3-8. So land animals, requirement, restrictions, right? Requirement needed, divided or split hooves, chew the cud. Restriction, split hooves, but don't chew the cud. No split hooves and doesn't chew the cud. A pig is an animal that has a split hoof, but doesn't chew the cud. So that is unclean. We cannot eat that. That's against our God, our law, our culture, our religion. And to force us to consume pig is anti-B'nai Israel, anti-BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic, hate and discrimination toward us. Sea animals. Clean, you have to have fins and scales together. Leviticus 11, 9-12. The requirement needed, 1 is fins, 2 is scales. The restriction is no bottom feeders, no sea scavengers, no fish without both fins and scales, right? So you have bird animals. Leviticus 11, 13-19. Clean, quail, and no carrion or scavenger. The bird requirements, restrictions. Requirement, quail, no carrion or scavenger. Restrictions, eating animals that eat carrion scavengers, right? Insects. The clean insects is wings and jointed legs for hopping. That's Leviticus 11, 20-23. Requirement needed, wings, 4 legs walking, jointed legs for hopping. Restrictions, no jointed legs, not jumping, all insects except locusts. So we can eat grasshoppers and locusts and crickets. Like grasshoppers, locusts, and crickets, those are the insects we can eat. And then we eat quail, then we eat fish, animals that have fins. So the shrimp, crab, those type of things, we can't eat that. Those are unclean things. Pig. And then I just want it to be known that during slavery, these were the slops and these were the things that we ate. And also some of the etiquette, the specialties, the special foods that some of the nations eat are a lot of these unclean foods. So we, B'nai Israel, BY-AASH, our nation, our people, so-called Black, so-called African-American, right? B'nai Israel, we cannot eat those things. We have to stick with the Leviticus 11 dietary laws. So that's why we're letting it be known. We're letting ourselves know, the world know, that going forth, these things would be considered by-AASH, anti-BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic, anti-B'nai Israel, because we have our sovereignty, we have our right to serve our God and follow our religion and follow our culture and dietary laws. And just to let you know concerning the days that we do, we do the 7 days appointed times. We got the Passover, Pesach, Leviticus 25. So our feast days, our holy days, is basically in Leviticus 23, right? Yeah, Passover, Pesach, Leviticus 23:5, unleavened bread, Chag Hamatzot, Leviticus 23:6-8. And this is an invitation for the world to know, because a lot of people they'll have an invitation to know when Ramadan is, or knowing what Ash Wednesday is, or they'll know when Easter is, but the world doesn't know or care to know of B'nai Israel, our feast days, our holy days. If we're saying we're going to be inclusive, we have to include that, because then now we're discriminating. That's being anti-BY-AASH, anti-B'nai Israel, anti-Shemitic. All right. So you got Passover, Pesach, unleavened bread, Chag Hamatzot, first fruits, Yom HaBikurim, what they call Pentecost, Chag HaShavuot. You got trumpets, Yom Teruah. You have atonement. That's not a feast, but that's a fast. Yom Kippur, and you have Tabernacle, Feast of Tabernacles, Chag HaSukkot. You got the two national memorial days of Israel. It's Hanukkah, which means dedication. First Maccabees 1:20-25 through 4:36, and Purim, Lots, Esther 9:26. Okay, and we follow a lot of laws, but our foundation is the 10 Commandments. Exodus chapter 20, verses 2 through 14. Right, we say we believe that I am Yahweh the Elohim. We believe that Yah is Elohim. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me, no graven images. You shall not take the name of Yahweh the Elohim in vain. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. That's today. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. You should not covet. So a lot of the things that we're having in our communities, like murdering, people talking about they're going to deal with people, women, deal with people, wives. This is a command, B'nai Israel, we shouldn't be doing. People are stealing cars, burglaries, breaking into people's houses, doing these things. We're not supposed to be doing that. People be lying and bearing false witness to get people set up, to get people hurt, to get people losing their jobs, to defame their name. We shouldn't be doing that either. People be coveting, like, oh, look at someone's house, this and that. We shouldn't be doing those things. We're supposed to honor our mother and our fathers. We shouldn't be fighting the elders. We shouldn't be going against our mother and our fathers. We should be doing the Shabbat day. We should be honoring our God. It's the first three commandments is to honor our God. All right. This is B'nai Israel. This is our national anthem, which is Shema, right? And that's in Deuteronomy 6:4-6. It's Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. So you see, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha b'kol lebabka u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol meodecha. You have it in the English, you have it in the Hebrew. And so we do have a national anthem, a song that we sing. And I'm gonna just sing it real quick. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Yahweh Echad, Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha b'kol lebabka u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol meodecha. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Y-A-God. So I just want y'all to hear our national anthem because I know people don't know it. All right, moving on. Why we call ourselves B'nai Israel? B'nai Israel stands for B'nai Israel, which means the children of Israel. In Genesis 12:3, Yahweh Elohim said to Abraham in Torah on behalf of him and his future descendants, B'nai Israel, the children of Israel, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And in you, all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. So we believe that if we follow our God and if we become righteous, then all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. So when the world does not oppose, discriminate, hate on us, trying to be righteous, even if our own people, right? And we're trying to bless the world, then that's anti-Shemitic, anti-B'nai Israel, anti-BY-AASH. We declare to the world we are B'nai Israel. But, so you can clearly know that when you curse and persecute B'nai Israel, you are persecuting the true children of Elohim. You will be made fully aware and accountable for your actions and consequences by Elohim and become our enemy. If you bless B'nai Israel, then you will become an ally, remembered and blessed by Elohim, Yahweh Elohim. If you bless us, B'nai Israel, you are our allies. If you curse us, B'nai Israel, you are our enemies. And so also to let you know that the transatlantic slave Holocaust, it was a Holocaust of B'nai Israel, so-called Black African Americans. We are B'nai Israel. And so in 70 AD started our Holocaust, first by the Romans. So it was the Indian Ocean. It was the land of Israel. Then that started off. And then you have the Indian Ocean, East Africa, where you had the Arab slave Holocaust. You have the Arab slave trade, the Arab slave Holocaust toward B'nai Israel. Then we fled to West Africa. Then we had the transatlantic slave Holocaust by the Portuguese and the Africans and the other nations taking us throughout the world. So we're just letting the world know that we are now declaring that we are B'nai Israel, and we're trying to go back to a Zedekiah righteous standard. And so, he said, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. And in you, all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. So going forth, we're trying to do our job by following the Torah, by following and trying to please our God. So wherever we are in whatever nation, if that nation comes against us, any jobs, any movements, anything that's anti-B'nai Israel, anti-BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic. All right, let me get back. So these are the things that, so these are the things that I wanted to expose people to let them know what happened. So in conclusion, as you see, with what happened, and I'm gonna show the clip. We're gonna end the clip. So I wanted you all to know who we are and why this was big. So I'm gonna show the clip again one last time of what happened to a 17-year-old who was of the B'nai Israel nation. Now, everybody might not say B'nai Israel or BY-AASH, but our job is to help our people. Besides, because we're not a part of any congregation, camp, clique, anything like that. We are B'nai Israel. We are BY-AASH. We are B'nai Israel with the emphasis of Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. So we declare our nation as B'nai Israel, primarily with the emphasis of Ash. But like I said, so we're trying to have our people understand who we are. And you can see my shirt. I just want y'all to see that right quick. So this will be coming out soon, you all. This is going to be the Lion of Yehuda shirt of B'nai Israel, right? You see it? I don't know if y'all can see it. So yeah, I'm gonna start having these in different colors. I'm gonna have it in the glitter gold and also have it on the shirt. So let me know. The website is www.afroasiatichebrews.com. And of course, for those who are here, if you're watching, subscribe, share, support. I also have a nonprofit. I'll be letting you guys know about that. If anybody's interested in helping, if you know about domestic law, international law, hit me up. If you know about design, if you know about marketing, if you know about these different things, just let me know, because I need some help, you guys. I need some help. If this is something that hits you, many are called, few are chosen. I'm not trying to get everybody. I just only want those who this hits, those who want to support this right here. So if you believe that you are B'nai Israel, you believe that you are Afro-Asiatic Semitic Hebrew, right? And you're ready just to get the work done. Let's get it going, because we have work to do. We have things we have to build. We have to help our people out, but we have to have resources. So one thing that I say is that the blessings and curses is economic. So we got to focus on our economy, and we got to stop being weird and being afraid concerning economy. You understand? We have to build, because we go out and work for people. We go to other people's stores. When we go work for people, we're not asking our employers who they worship. We're not asking that when we go to buy food and we go buy certain things. We're not asking that. But with our sales, we persecute each other. Oh, well, you're part of this, you're part of that. I'm trying to stop all of the division and just say, yo, we are B'nai Israel Ash. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop that. But hey, many are called, few are chosen. So if you support the movement, press like, share, comment, but hit me up. Let me know. You know, let me know what's up, and let's work together. Let's get some work going. But anyway, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna show the clip again one more time to let you know what happened of this anti-BY-AASH, anti-Shemitic hatred that happened. So here it is.
We begin in Canton with new information about the incident that led to 8 McKinley High School football coaches being suspended. Tonight, there are new allegations from a father of a McKinley football player stating the reason those coaches are on leave is because they forced his son to go against his religion and eat pork as punishment at a team practice. Our Will Ewick now has the details this evening.
We're just distraught by the whole situation. We don't understand how this could have happened. We want to get to the bottom of it as well. And if we have to go through a lawsuit to do it, well, then it's on.
Local attorney Ed Gilbert didn't mince words today, speaking about an alleged incident involving a 17-year-old Canton McKinley student. The father says his son missed practice due to an injury, then was forced to eat a pepperoni pizza as punishment. However, the family hasn't eaten pork in nearly 10 years as part of the dietary rules of the Hebrew-Israeli religious faith.
Makes you question, are they, doing their job, or are they capable of doing their job, or is it, obviously I feel like the culture is broke.
Gilbert and Walker say the child has indicated to coaches in the past that he doesn't eat pork and said so at least 10 times during the incident. They say while head coach Marcus Watley and the other assistants did eventually let him pick off the pepperoni and some of the cheese, he was still made to eat the pizza and is seeking counseling after the ordeal.
His mom is taking him to therapy, and hopefully he will be able to work out his depression as a result of this.
The Canton McKinley School District and Board haven't responded for comment on this allegation, but we have learned that 8 coaches have been placed on administrative leave. While the school won't confirm that this is the reason why, they did say they received a report of an incident during the football team's strength and conditioning practice from May 24th, and that it's under investigation.
We have asked them to talk with the coach. We've asked them to give an audience with us. They have not done so.
The boy's father says he did have a meeting with the superintendent right after the incident, but the school hasn't responded since. So if they won't meet to discuss what happened, he and Gilbert are ready to file.
We would like to work this out, but they have chosen not to work it out, and they have chosen not to speak to us. So we have no choice but to move forward in a court of law, and that'll be very soon.
The district and a board member did tell 3 News that once they complete their internal investigation, they will reveal more details about what happened. But Laura, it was very obvious in speaking with the father and the attorney today that their patience is running thin.
All right, well, Ewick, thank you so much.
Tonight, 8 high school football coaches at Canton McKinley could learn if they still have a job or not. 3 News first reported that the family of a football player was preparing to sue after coaches forced the player to eat pork, which is against his religious beliefs. The coaches were placed on administrative leave, and now the school board is going to be holding a special meeting. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski joins us now from the high school's downtown campus. Rachel, this is a story that has a lot of people talking.
Hey, Betsy, it sure does, and we broke this story last week. Since then, things have just been developing. The school district came out and gave us a statement. 3 News also talked with the boy's father. Now, we'll have to wait and see what happens during this meeting, but as we've reported, the head coach, that's Marcus Watley, and 7 of his assistants were placed on leave after this incident. Now, the family of the student who was involved, according to the boy's father, says the 17-year-old was forced to eat pepperoni pizza after showing up late for practice on May 24th, despite the fact that the staff knew he could not eat pork due to the dietary rules of his Hebrew Israeli faith. Now, the Canton City Schools superintendent tells me the district's investigation into the incident found that the coaches engaged in, quote, inappropriate, demeaning, and divisive behavior in a misguided attempt to instill discipline in these student athletes, end quote. So what happens now? Well, this school board meeting is set to begin at 5:30. We've been here for the last half hour or so. Not a lot going on here, not that many people coming in or out. Of course, we'll be inside there and we'll keep you posted as we learn more details. You can follow along on the WKYC app on our website, and we'll have an update at 6 o'clock on what matters most. Betsy?
All right, a lot of folks following this one. Thank you so much, Rachel, for reporting live for us.
All right. So, yeah, so I just wanted to, one person I want you guys to check out is Dr. Claude Anderson. He deals with powernomics, right? And one thing he said that racism is economic. All right. So Deuteronomy, so that kind of goes with Deuteronomy 28. If racism is economic, then the curses is economic, right? So when I put that, and that's coming soon, I'm gonna say the curses and blessings is economic. That's something that I meditated on and brought together because of the language that you'll see in Deuteronomy 28: buying, selling, sold, redeemed, and then it's us. So it's, you know, blessings and curses is economic. So when we are in righteousness, then, you know, Yah, he said he will bless us with our economics. When we are in disobedience, when we break the law, then we will be, and then our nation, the other nations will have an economic advantage. You know, so we have to be a nation and come together. He was stating, he said, you have little Chinatown, you have this town, but where's your town? Where's your town? So that's why I said, okay, well, we need to be a nation, declare ourselves as a nation, build an economy, and start building things. Like when someone goes to the Ethiopian store, the Somali store, the Eritrean store, the Oromo store, the Tigray store, or the Palestinian store, they're able to have these stores in their neighborhoods because they're selling their culture. Like if you're Islamic and you go to the Islamic store, right, you can get your prayer rugs, you can get your Qurans, you can get your religious attire. You're getting stuff that pertains to you. And if you guys cook a certain way, you're getting what you want. If you go to a Habesha store, you're going to get the clothes, the foods, you're going to get the utensils. So we need to start first, we ourselves need to declare and let it be known we are B'nai Israel. That's the first thing. And then we need to start creating a culture, not all these different cliques and camps and all this different division, because the world will be confused. You know, Eritrea has 9 tribes. Ethiopia has 80 tribes. I don't know how many tribes Oromo have. I don't know how many tribes Tigray have, but these people, they have their culture. So when you know, we got to stop being afraid of economy. Because first, when we was freed from Egypt, the gold and the economy that we had, we brung it together to create a idol. You know what I'm saying? The golden bull, right? The golden oxen. We created an idol with the money. And then now in this time, we're scared. We're not even dealing with each other. So the creator, from my understanding, the creator had us go to everybody to get an economy, because a nation has to have an economy. So that's smart. He said, you know, I'm going to free you from oppression. Then I'm going to start you with an economy. But because we had fear and we were trying to worship this other God, we messed up our economy and made a golden calf, which is idolatry. The love of money is the root of all evil. But y'all can bless us with an economy. So that's false to say, oh, Hebrews trying to get an economy, that's evil. That's immature. See, what was immature was y'all actually had us with an economy. We talked to the Egyptians. We had an economy, and then we didn't believe and trust in him. So then we brought our economy together to make a golden calf that did nothing for us. And I'm not saying give me anything. What I'm saying is you, whoever you are, you need to start coming together. We need to declare ourselves, and we need to start building stores, building stuff. It don't have to be one store. Like, look, for example, you have an Ethiopian store. The Ethiopians, there's like 10 different Ethiopian stores around the city, right? The reason why, because they share the same culture. They eat injera. You can have 400 Ethiopian stores. They're not in competition. They are a nation. You see what I'm saying? They support each other. So it don't have to be one store. It could be, there's like hundreds of Ethiopian stores across the country and in different nations where they go because they want to follow their culture. We have to start getting into that mind, you guys. So like I said, it's not for everybody. There's a bunch of people that has a certain psychology. This is not for you. This is for those who say, yo, you know what? I'm B'nai Israel. We need to make a change. We have to do something in our communities. We have to start dealing with the economy because we're being compromised at sportings. Imagine, look, we could build our own B'nai Israel school. We can have our own B'nai Israel school. We can have our own teams, soccer team, and that'll be a suggestion too. You heard it first from me, B'nai Uziyahu Ben Yehuda. I think B'nai Israel, we need to start a soccer team so we can be a part of the international world because soccer is an international thing. At certain soccer events, people, they'll come, they get together, they have their flags, they sing in a national anthem. Our national anthem will be the Shema, giving praise to Yah, you know what I'm saying? And as you can see the flags, I have the ancient color. I have the I have the ancient color flag with the red, purple, and blue. And I have our diaspora flag, the red, black, and green. I have both of them because our nation, we have two flags. We have our 1446 BCE colors. So I'm giving homage to when Moses and our people, well, not Moses, but Joshua and Caleb and B'nai Israel, when we finally went into the promised land, set up the tabernacle. That's that color. That's those colors to give homage to when our nation was first established. But then we went into captivity, and the red, black, and green is us waking up now. So I'm giving homage to both the past and the present going forth. The two sticks shall become one. Israel and Yehuda shall become one. All right. The two sticks shall become one, and we shall be a full nation again. But I'm about to wrap this up. I'm about to get out of here. So I hope this helped. Let me know, y'all. For those who want to deal with the By-AASH, B'nai Israel, let me know. I'm gonna start getting some car flags that you can have, some stick flags, car flags, and the decal. Okay, so you can put on your car. So we can start supporting each other. We need to start building these schools, building these stores, build our own economy. It's time. I'm around East Africans all the time, and even West Africans as well. I give salute to them. They show me love. I show them love. You know what I'm saying? And also our East African people, we got to stop fighting against each other, man. It says that Yehuda is the gatherer of the nations. So because I'm Yehuda, my job is to bring peace and gather us together. So these nations that are fighting and all this stuff that's happening, it's our job. Sorry about that. It's our job to bring us together. Okay. So may Yah bless you. May Yah keep you. May he shine his face upon you and give you peace. But hey, we are B'nai Israel. So I'm signing off. Shalom, shalom.